Hi, I'm Terry Kolath, and I'm here today on this beautiful day outdoors behind the Woodlands Commons, and I have the pleasure of introducing you to Paul Neighbors of Rosemont. We're going to talk a little bit about his career in the world of computing. Thank you so much for joining me, Paul. I've wanted to share more of your story with residents of Shell Point for a good long time, and let's begin with a little bit of your background. Where did you grow up?
Well, I was born and raised in Oklahoma, primarily on a farm. Until I got out of high school, and then I started moving around doing lots of other things. And I went back there for college, and after college I decided to join the Air Force and, as a pilot and start flying.
Tell us about how you met computers. How did you become acquainted with them?
In the 1950s, IBM and MIT were developing the SAGE computer for the Air Force to tie together all the radar stations that were in North America, and to intercept, to figure out when we had Russian bombers that we thought were going to come in and drop atomic bombs on us during that time, and to take control of a fighter plane and set up a vector that would intercept them and shoot them down. And the computer actually was flying the airplane. One of the problems they had in testing this is they couldn't get any fighter pilots willing to let a computer fly their airplane. But my early interest in computers, that was right down my alley. That's what I wanted. And so I volunteered for that and did a lot of work helping them to test the system and helping them to make changes to the computer to make it work better for considering the pilot in the job.
So you went on to become more and more acquainted with computers. Is that what happened?
Yes, I finished that at about the time that my term in the Air Force was up. I decided that I wanted to go back to graduate school and get an MBA degree. And the physics department in the school that I had an IBM 650 computer. And I wanted to do some work with that, and they needed a Fortran compiler to take their equations and turn them into computer language. And so I volunteered in order to get time on the computer to help write a Fortran compiler.
And Paul, have you stayed with computers all the way through to your retirement?
Yes, I did. I did a lot of things, consulting and worked for a CPA firm and things like that.
I really appreciate hearing about your involvement with computers. And we're talking about lifelong learning here, of course, in the Academy at Shell Point. And you have taken your illustrious and innovative background to great heights, and you continue to share with residents of Shell Point by helping to create and maintain a walk-in computer clinic. What does lifelong learning mean to you, Paul?
Well, to me, the computer part of it, I think, is more than anything helping people to do whatever it is that they want to do with a computer. One of the things that came out of my 1950s experience I came up with the motto of my own that the only limitation to what you can do with a computer is your own imagination. And if people here have an imagination and have things that they'd like to do, then I'd like to help them make the computer help do that. And it's fun to me. In fact, I always said when I was working on computers that I was one of the few people that got to play all the time and get paid for it. Because to me, computers were fun. And I still treat them that way. And there's almost no limitation to what they can do. I've taught classes in virtual travel where you can use the computer to walk down any street in the world that you visited in the past, or walk through any museum you visited in the past, or do things like that. How to put data on the cloud so that you can share it with anyone in the world in seconds instead of having to mail something to them. There are all kinds of things that people can do, and I like teaching people how to do it. Or if they run into a problem, if they've got a laptop computer, all they've got to do is pick it up and walk down to the computer center any morning between 10 and 12, and myself and one of the other instructors will be sitting there to help them do it. And I find that really probably it's easier and better to educate people that way so that they learn exactly what it is they want to learn, rather than asking them to go to a class and sit through several days of class where maybe they really needed a couple of hours of help. So I think that the walk-in computer clinic can be very helpful, and I hope that they'll all remember to come down whenever they have a problem or something else they'd like to do and let us help.
Thank you so much, Paul. It's been a pleasure talking with you, and I encourage everyone who would like to find out a little bit more about a computer, or maybe just stop in and meet Paul Neighbors in person, to look at page 61 of your Academy of Lifelong Learning. Check out when and where you can go to the walk-in computer clinic.